Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the country and all around the world. So today we are going to be making a scene card, and I thought it would be fun to add something that's near and dear to my heart to my card. You can add anything you want to yours, but I thought I would use Debbie's new Let's Camp set by Gina K Designs. It's this one with the little cute little campers and the tent and all of that. Tom and I love to camp, so I thought that that would be a fun little addition to today's card. So before we get started, let's say hello to Tom.
Happy crafternoon.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Doing
oh my
great.
gosh, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze.
Let her rip.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. So how are you?
I'm great.
Doing great?
Yeah.
So everybody, I saw so many comments, people asking, thank you very much. Everyone's saying, bless you. A lot of people were asking how our Tuesday night went, because we weren't live, and we're normally live. But Tom and I and Alicia and Rena, we went down to see Blue Man Group in Chicago, and it was so much fun. I highly recommend it. What do you think, Tom?
Oh, it was great Father's Day kind of outing with the kids and Brian, and so we had a great time out in Chicago, and night lunch.
Oh yeah, we had night lunch. After the show. I know, I'm a little old for that. But after the show, we went to this really fun place called Cane's Chicken. I know they have them in Minneapolis. I know they have one in Madison. They're usually around college campuses. But this chicken place, it was like chicken fingers and fries, just all the kind of food that makes you have to get on the treadmill the next day. But it was so good. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for Father's Day, you and I just kind of hit the kids had to work, and
yeah. So
we just got our bikes and rode around downtown Milwaukee. It was great.
It was awesome. We had a great weekend into our Father's Day on Tuesday night. So thank you all so much for being patient with us, because we hate to miss our lives, right, Tom?
Yeah.
But it was the only day that both of our daughters were off, so that they could actually come with us. Blue Man Group is the funniest, and also they're the most talented guys. The way they play the drums, I mean, the way they play those instruments, but the other stuff that they can do is really great. If you ever get a chance to see that show, it is just a really fun, funny, feel-good show. So definitely check it out. All right. Well, yeah, it was great. So today we are going to create a scene. Now, I saw a couple people saying, yeah, I've always wanted to do a scene card. I'm not sure how to get started and what you need to do something like that. So let me show you one of the things that I love to use when I'm making a scene card. So this is Master Layout 6. This die set is fantastic for creating a scene because it has these pine trees. It's got these clouds. It's got this element, which could be a cloud or it could be a tree. So you can put any of these treetops onto these trunks. It's got a moon for night scenes, a sun for day scenes. And then it's got this mountain. It's also got this, which is like a hill. And then it's got grass. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can build a scene. Now I'll show you a scene card that I did not that long ago. I made this using Master Layouts 6. And this was a super fun little spring card. I thought it was great around Easter. And you can see I created treetops out of the clouds and the tree top image die. And I did the sun and I did grass here. You can see I did 2 layers of grass. So this is so much fun. But today I thought I would do a hill. I might even try to get a mountain in there because I want to use this stamp set. So this is the new Let's Camp stamp set. Let me find something here to put it on so that you can see it a little bit better. And I'll back out just a bit. So this is the new Let's Camp set by Debbie Warner for Gina K Designs. And I love this set because Tom and I do a lot of camping. But even if you're not a camper, what I love about this set is I think it's great for, well, I think it's really cool for masculine cards if you're looking for some stamps that aren't flowers, something different that you can use. It's also great for a retirement card. It's just great for kind of bringing a peaceful, relaxing scene. So even if you're not an avid camper, it's still really cute to have these elements and kind of make it more of a relaxation kind of card. It does have some cute greetings, happy anniversary, happy retirement, happy birthday. And then I also think I'm going to use this because Tom and I, when we go camping, we take a lot of pictures. And I thought it would be kind of fun to do a little mini scrapbook of some of our camping trips and just add some of these little elements. Even though this does not look like our RV, it is what we see when we go camping. We see trailers, we see pop-ups, we see tents. So, you know, it's great for a scrapbook page as well. Okay, so I say this all the time, if you're experiencing any freezing, it's not on our end. It's probably on your end, unfortunately. You might be really busy, your internet at this time of day. You can try going out and coming back in. If you're watching on YouTube, you can switch over to Facebook and try to watch us there. Or if you're watching on Facebook, give us a try over at YouTube and see if that's better for you. Okay, so we're going to start by creating clouds. Now, I do love the cloud images in here. So if you want it to be a more graphic card, you could do your sky. You could cut it out maybe with some ocean mist or sea glass and then pop in some white clouds here, which would be really cute. These clouds are also great to go in front of the sun a little bit. So maybe we'll use some of those. But I'm going to create clouds using this piece of cardstock. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm sorry if any of you have some freezing. Most of you don't, but if there's one or two of you out there that do, it could just be that your internet in your area is very busy right now. It happens a lot at lunchtime because all the people that are on lunch break get on their phones and get on the internet and surf around and live stream. So it does kind of slow down the whole system. But the replay will play without any freezing at all because we are not freezing on our end. All right, so I'm going to start with just a piece of cardstock that's bigger than my piece of cardstock that I'm going to use. And the piece that I'm using here measures 3 3/3 of an inch by 5 inches. You can also use master layouts to cut this out if you want, and that makes it a little easier to create your shadow layer. So I'm going to create my own little stencil that I'm going to use. And I'm just going to kind of create some bumps here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just like that. And you don't want them to be, you actually don't want them to be perfect. Don't make them perfectly like a scalloped edge. You want them to kind of be different heights and kind of going downhill a little bit. Now we can use both sides of this as a stencil. If you have a piece of acetate, you know, like the stuff that the stamp sheet is made out of, maybe you have some old packaging materials that, you know, like something that came in plastic, you can use plastic to cut this out and then you can reuse it over and over again by just washing it. But you know, if you don't, just get a piece of cardstock and do it. It's totally fine. So the color I want to use today is sea glass. I'm going to use some sea glass ink for this part. Oh, you guys, hot. I'm telling you, it was so hot here for a couple of days. I don't know. Is it still hot out there, Tom?
It's about 75, so it's not too bad.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I left early, so it's hard to tell in the morning if you're going to have the same heat. It's always kind of cool here in the morning. Okay, so I'm going to use a blending brush. This is my turquoise blending brush. I took the little thing off just to use it for now because sometimes I shoot them across the room. And I'm going to clean it. Now, you can clean it on a piece of cardstock, or you can clean it using a piece of paper towel. I like the paper towel method because it's got a lot more texture to it. This has some tranquil teal on it, and that's going to be too dark for my card. So I'm just going to rub off the excess ink onto my paper towel, and that roughness of the paper towel really grabs the ink. All right. And then you can see if you go light, that color is not so bad anymore. So I'll put this aside if I have to use it again. And now I'm going to use sea glass ink because I am definitely in the mood for a very light, summery sky. If you want a deeper sky, you can use turquoise sea or even tranquil teal. Or you can make your sky more colorful, like purple into peach into blue, depending on what you want it to look like. But mine, I'm going basic here. All right, so I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'm going to create the beginnings of some clouds. Now, it's not the color that creates the clouds. It's what's left behind that creates the clouds. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up right here along the edge like that. Now you can see I've started getting some clouds. Now, I'm going to flip this over because I want to have something different on the other side on this next row. And I'm going to do the same thing again, but I'm not going to go all the way up. I'm just going to concentrate my ink blending right along the line. Just like this. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but when I take this away, you'll see. It definitely will. See, now I have a second row of clouds. So we're making these very kind of puffy, big cumulus clouds. Is that what they're called? I always ask you the science questions like you were like Bill Nye or something over there.
I know, and there's a whole different set of rules for cartoon clouds.
Oh, there is? So I'm going all the way down to the bottom on this, creating these clouds like that. I'm going to cover a lot of them, but I don't know where I'm going to cover them. So I don't want to take any chances and, you know, mess it up and have something that's open. So just do your whole piece of cardstock. I don't really have to do down there. I know I'm going to cover that, but I'm going to just take a little bit of blue ink here and just finish off the bottom just in case anything shows. I don't know what's going to show yet. So there are my clouds. Now I could have gone higher up here. I could have, you know, maybe done a little of that just to have, I don't know, a little texture up there. Let's see, we'll do that right here. Kind of, it gets darker up there in the stratosphere. So there we go. So there's my clouds. Okay. No, I couldn't stand the high temps either. And it was 97 here the other day, and the heat index was 102. And I realized that I don't think I could do that year round. It's okay though. I'm not complaining because you're going to hear me in the winter screaming about the cold. So I'm screaming either way. All right, so now we're going to cut some elements out. All right. Let's see. Let me get my die cutting machine. Sometimes I get distracted reading your comments. So I am going to die cut some of these elements. Now, I don't need a ton of elements because I am going to be using either this pop-up or this camper. I think I want to use this camper because it's just really cute. And it's old-fashioned. I love this style. So I'm going to use this one, but it's going to take up a great deal of this card, right? So I'm not going to, and I have to put it up on a little grass. So I don't need a whole lot of elements. I think I'll put a tree in there. And then I think I'm going to try to achieve the look of a lake. So we'll see how I do. Okay. I've never done a lake before, so let's see how it goes. Okay. So I'm going to cut out a sun using some orange ink. I'm not going to use my new plates. I'm saving my new plates. I'm going to use my old plates. I got a couple sets of new plates because sometimes you need a nice flat plate for a certain project. So I'm going to start by cutting out the sun. And I could cut a couple things at once. Let's do that. I'm just going to cut this out. I mean, as long as I'm here, I might as well just make one pass on that die cutting machine for a lot of this stuff. I'm going to do a tree. So I'm going to need a trunk. So let's pick a trunk here. Let me get all these dies out here. I'll do this trunk. I'm just going to do one tree. I could do a pine tree, but let's see. And then I'm going to do this die here. This is the top of the tree. See, I'm going to put that right on there like that. So it'll be nice and a big puffy tree. I'm cutting these pieces so that I can put a bunch of them on here at once. And then I'm going to stop there because I'm going to do my grass separately and my hills separately. So let's cut these 3 images out first. Okay. All right, so you can see there's the top of the tree, and you can see how that is just going to kind of go on like that. Like that. Need something a little brighter to see it on, just like that. Okay. Then I have my sun, and I just love this sun. It's so cute. Now you can always save these and use them as stencils. So if you want to stencil your sun, you want a softer looking sun, keep this and then you can do it as a stencil. But if you want the element itself, then you have the nice bright sun. And I just feel like for this card, we're just going to have some bold, fun images in here. All right, let's not throw these away. Also, you can use these as clouds too. Like if you want to have your own stencil, you can kind of work it across the card just by adding a little bit of sea glass or turquoise sea around the outside. Or if you want a darker sky, you can use grays. Okay, so now we're going to make some grass. Now for this card, I used lots of grass green. But I think I'm going to use jelly bean green for this card. So let's give that a try. Now I need one high hill. I need a high hill. So I'm going to use the hill die, and I'm going to create a very high hill here. Like this. And we're going to cut that out. See, that's the thing. You can make a shallow hill. You can make the hill really high. You can make it as high as you want. But if I'm going to do a lake, I've got to have kind of a high hill on one side. I agree. Summer cards do call for bold colors, Allison. That's a good point. So you can see here, oh, I should have used my new plates. I'm getting all the little shrapnel from there. So you can see here, this will create a nice high hill on the one side here. And I can park my camper over here on the hillside. But over here, I want a lake. So the way I'm going to do that is I am going to cut a piece of turquoise sea cardstock, and we'll get to that in a minute. I am going to need another hill, but I need a shallow hill. So I'm going to cut a shallow hill right here. I should probably turn the die around. It will cut better. Let's do it like this. Just a little bit of a shallow hill. Just to cover up, because you can't have that hill just going to nowhere. It's got to go all the way to the edge of the card. Oh, fun. A new die cutting machine is always fun. So you can see like that. I can have that coming in this way, and my lake can be over here on the horizon. All right. Okay. We've stayed in some campsites, Tom, that had kind of a high up on the hill overlooking the lake, Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the name of that stamp set again?
The stamp set?
Yes.
This is called Let's Camp.
All right.
It's so fun. And there's also a coordinating die set, which is great because I don't want a fussy cut. I just want to cut this right out. All righty. So let me put this aside for now. Oh, no, I'm going to cut some grass too. Let's cut some grass. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I know I want it. So that's this right here, this grass. So I'm just going to cut it right from this piece that I've been working with. And then I'll just trim it off at the bottom. Alrighty. Just cut that out. Shallow hill, and the hill going to nowhere makes you smile. Yay! Okay, so there's my grass. And so I'm going to darken up this grass because where the camper is, I want that sitting in the grass, but then I have this hill kind of in the background. So if I darken up the edge here, you'll see the difference between there. It's a fun stamps. It's a fun die set. It really is. Okay, let's put this aside. I'm just doing one row of grass. On this card here, I did 2 rows of grass, but I only had grass. So I kind of needed a little bit more, you can see. And again, I darkened that up. Can you see that, how I darkened it up in there so you could see the different segments of grass? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little ink blending on these. All righty. So let's get our stuff here. Get my little piece of protection. So I think a good color to do with this is grass green. Let me find grass green. If I use jelly bean green, I think it's going to just kind of fade away and you won't even see it. But grass green will definitely give me that, that visibility. Grass and jelly bean go really cute together. Oh, you like the bunny? That's from our little Spring Joy. It's a tiny little mini set. It's got a bunny and a chicken and really cute for kid cards, baby cards, Easter cards, anything springy. So I'm going to use this green brush, and then I'm going to highlight the hill here, low light the hill with some of that grass green right along the edge. Remember this technique way back in the good old days of stamping where you would take a piece of sponge? We used to do it, and we used to edge all of our cards. Every card had edging. Had brown edges on everything. We were all into antiquing, I guess. All right, so that just makes it pop a little bit more, right? We're going to do the same thing over here. Let's see. I'm doing this whole thing, but I'm going to trim some of it off, but that's all right. Right? We all had the sponges, and we were going to the Stampin' Up! Parties and learning how to edge, and it was just the most amazing thing I had ever seen in my life. Well, I'm doing it again. So there, I'm going to put that there, and that's going to go all the way to that edge. And then I'll trim that off. But then my grass is also going to go here, and that'll look more like it's in the front where these hills are kind of in the background. Okay, so, but we can't forget our lake. I haven't forgotten the lake. I'm going to trim this grass down. I did not really, well, it doesn't really matter because it's grass, so it can, you know, it's not like it has to be perfectly straight because it's all jaggedy anyway. So I just trimmed that down. If you don't want to trim it down, just place the die close, like right on the edge of your paper, and then you won't have to trim it down. And you'll save more paper, but I was using that weird leftover stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm edging my grass. And that's going to make it stand out from the hills a bit. I don't know. It gives it some nice shading. I guess we were cool back then. I was cool. You guys were cool. Were you cool back then, Tom?
Not since I had kids.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe how uncool I got after I had kids. Oh, my God. Everything changed. All right. So before we do any of this, we are going to cut a little piece of this turquoise sea and we're going to create our lake. All right. So we have to decide how big we want that. And I don't have a ruler here, but I'm just going to eyeball it. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put this cardstock here. We're going to have this up here, and then we're going to have this coming in over here. So this is going to look like a lake. All right. So we'll make it about... Let me do that again. Ooh, wonder if... No, that would be too big. So we'll make it... I'm just going to tear it so I know where to cut it. I'm going to make it about that big. That's my see, if you were watching a Jennifer McGuire video, she'd have a T-square out and she would have, you know, all the tools at her fingertips, and I just tear it. So but that's a tool we all have, right? Oh my gosh, I'm so unprofessional. Okay, so there we go. This is going to be my lake, and let's see how that looks. So I want to put that there, right to the edge. And then I am going to put this on top. Oh yeah, it's going to look good, right? It's going to look so cute. So our lake is just going to be off there. I love that. Yeah, see? I am practical. If nothing else, I'm practical. Okay. So I'm going to trim this down to match this size cardstock. So I am going to trim it to 3 3/4 inches. I'm sorry, I'm going to, do not trim that. Trim it to 5 inches. And you can go a little less than 5 inches if you want, because the hill is going to cover up a lot of it. But I just want to make sure that I don't have to cut it afterwards, because that's kind of a pain. So there we go. I'm going to tape that down over to this side. See how it's a little shy over on this side? I don't care. The mountain's going to cover it, or the hill. All right, I am going to use tape for this. You can use glue if that's easier for you. Connect glue is great for this because it's very forgiving and you can move it around a little bit. Yeah, I'm just kind of going with the flow here. I really don't know how this card is going to turn out, but...
So are those clouds upside down?
Yeah, they are. I just threw it down. Thank you. And we'll just make sure that goes right to the edge there and that it's not extending past the bottom, because we want to do my little black shadow layer. So it has to be kind of perfect there. Here's my black shadow layer. So that's going to go, and that's going to make everything pop, right? Okay. Yeah, sorry. I just threw the cardstock down. I didn't mean to scare anybody. But thank you for pointing that out, because I'm not saying that I wouldn't have glued it on wrong. You guys have seen me do stuff like that. Gosh, in one of my last videos, I actually put it upside down on the card, like on the card base. So the card base was opening like this. All right, I'm going to tape this hill on now. And then I'm going to place that over there to kind of cover that up. But I want to get it right to the bottom. There we go. There's my hill. And then I need my tiny hill. So my tiny hill, I'm going to take it right to the edge here, and then I'll just trim that little bit off. So I could probably do that now, I think. If I make this 5 inches, I can go right to the 5-inch mark and then cut it, because it's flat at the bottom. So I can use my paper cutter for that. And then I don't have to cut it later. Just because the thicker it gets, sometimes when you cut it with a paper cutter, it kind of looks shreddy on the side, and I don't want it to look that way. And then this one's going to go right there to finish it off. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. Don't anybody tell Jennifer I said that. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to put my grass right along the side, and that's where my RV is going to sit, my little camper. And we can cut this down to the full 5 inches before we apply it. Okay, we'll go right to the 5-inch mark. No, that girl knows what she's doing, Jennifer. And I never know what I'm doing, so we definitely have very different styles. But we both get there somehow, right? All right, so now I'm going to put that right on the edge there. Oh, yes, it does look like Michigan. It feels like Lake Michigan. This is what Lake Michigan looks like to me when we're riding our bike. There's lots of hilly areas, and then you kind of look over and you see that beautiful turquoise blue water. Lake Michigan's very pretty. It looks a lot like the Caribbean to me. I know, it's crazy. It doesn't feel like the Caribbean, though. The other day, it was so beautiful, and it was so turquoise. And then I watched the news that night, and they said that the temperature was 57 degrees. It was 97 out, and the lake was 57. I still don't think that you could survive that, even if it was 97 out. All right, so now I can put that little piece of black on there. All right. Oh yeah, I could have done the lake going on the other side and had the RV backed into it. I didn't think of that. I have some more here. Well, now my scene is kind of almost done here. So Tom, while I'm working on this, your music's very nice, by the way.
Thank you.
I wonder if we could use one of these pretty card bases. Did you guys get these card bases in the kit? These panels, they're so pretty, and they make really pretty card bases. I really like that. Wouldn't that be a nice little card base there? Could use that one. These are from the kit. I know a lot of you got the kit. This is the gold color. This is the blue color. That would be really pretty and really soft. I think I'm gonna do that. I kind of like this one, but I don't know how that will look once I get the sun in there, because the sun is kind of orange. It would look pretty. So I don't know. You guys decide. They do make pretty card bases, and I feel good about using a thinner cardstock like this when I've got, what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers on my card. It's gonna be stiff, so I think it's gonna be fine either way. Do you guys like the blue one, or do you like the yellow one better? I got a lot of blues. A lot of blues. You guys like the blue? I do too. It's very peaceful. It's very peaceful. We could make a different card with the yellow sometime. Do something with flowers or something. No, it's a limited edition pattern paper. We may have some extra because we bought all the company had. The company was selling out of it, and we just decided that it was so pretty we wanted to try it. And we did buy extra, so we may have some packs that we can put into inventory, but once it's gone because they're not making it anymore. It's an 80 pounds, so it's a layering weight. Oh, that's a really nice card base. And just something a little bit different. So we'll go with the blue one, even though now I'm seeing yellow. I think that'll be very pretty. Okay. Alrighty. So let's get this onto the card base, and then we'll start working on our RV, and we'll decide. So what's nice about clear stamps is you can kind of lay things out. Now, we could have tucked this under, having the sun come up over the hill, but I'm going to put it up here in the corner. And then this little sun and tree This little tree. I'm going to put some green on this tree. We can tuck that in a little hill here. We can also put this off to the side, coming out of the hill. And then we can put the sun more in the middle. I like the sun on the side. But we can, because it's a clear stamp, we can pick which one we want just by looking. So we can kind of see, well, that would be cute. This little pop-up would be adorable. We could do the pop-up because that's a little tinier. You can also just do a little tent. You could actually just stamp that tent right on there too. If you didn't want to do the whole thing and you didn't want to cut it out, that little tent would be adorable right there, wouldn't it? Kind of like that too, but I think I'm partial to the RV. I think I'm going to use this one. It's a little bit smaller. What do you guys want me to use? The pop-up? All right, I see. I looked up and I saw a bunch of people saying pop-up, so I'm going with the pop-up. All right, we'll do the pop-up. Thank you, guys. So I need you guys to help me decide what to make, what to do. All right, this is plenty big enough. I'm going to cut this piece down. Should I try stamping it with a block or should I use the Misty? I'll try it with a block. I've got a block plenty big enough for that. Now this is a brand new stamp. I haven't used it before, so I'm just going to run my finger over it. That's true, Penny. The tent wouldn't normally be on a hill, right? So that really wouldn't make sense. But the pop-up could be sitting in the grass in front of the hill, so I think that'll make more sense. I think these elements are great too for scrapbooking. I like making my own elements, and one of the reasons I like making my own is because a lot of times it's hard to find the right colors that don't clash with what's going on in the picture. With stamps, you can make your own elements and you can just color them to match what's going on in the picture. So if everybody's wearing yellow t-shirts, you know, you can have yellow on your camper rather than maybe some color that whatever the designer chose to color it. All right, looking good. A little grass there. Okay, so what color is a camper? I definitely want to make the windows a little bit blue, almost like they're reflecting what's happening around them. Should I use colored pencils for this? Or should I use, I think colored pencils will work. Alrighty, let me get all my colored pencils here. And I think that if we make this a little bit aqua in here, it makes it feel a little more old-fashioned. That was a big popular color. And I think this pencil looks good with these colors, so that'll pull it all together. So we'll make the body of this thing aqua. Why not? Should we do the below part aqua? And then these parts kind of gray? Yeah, let's do that. We'll make this aqua. We'll get it nice and dark under here. We'll do like aqua, gray, and a little brown. We'll make it look a little old-fashioned. We'll do the top aqua too. Let's go for it. I didn't even sharpen this pencil. By the way, let me just do you guys a quick favor here. A bunch of people have been sending messages to customer service. They bought this pencil sharpener on Amazon. This is the iPoint Orbit pencil sharpener. A lot of people bought it. They got it. They love it, but they don't know how to clean it because they can't figure out how to pull this off. And they're pulling and they're doing all of that. Let me show you really quickly. This unscrews on the top. And then this whole thing comes out and you can throw away all of your shavings. And then you just slip it back on and then you screw this back on the top. Okay. So That's how you do it. Now under here, when you're trying to put the battery in, you got to press down in here. And sometimes I take something like a pair of tweezers. I'll press it down and then pop it forward and the batteries are inside. So I hope that helps. Anybody that's been struggling, trying to figure out how to do it. I know it's frustrating. I didn't know how to do it at first. I had to Google search it. Okay, so I'm going to use a little Gamsol here. My pleasure. So if you've never used Gamsol before, Gamsol is a super great way to blend out your colored pencils. I'm using a blending stump by Creative Mark. They're my favorite blending stumps. And you want to dip it into your Gamsol just a little bit to make sure that your blending stump gets a little saturated. Don't do it like bloop. That's not enough. You got to like put it in there for a second. Really, Kara? That a lot of people have been, they're referring the Creative Mark on Amazon when you buy the pencil sharpener? That's funny. Well, you know, good stuff. Okay, so I'm making this kind of smudgy looking. It just feels old-fashioned this way. I love that. Kind of worn, right? Might need a little bit more. I'll sharpen up this pencil. Add just a little bit down here. So Tom, while I'm coloring,
yes.
By the way, I'll take good quality photos of this so you guys will be able to see, you know, exactly what the coloring looks like. I'm going to go a little darker around the wheel here too. So Tom,
Yes.
do you have a word of the day?
Yes, I do. The word of the day
You do?
is think.
Think.
T-H-I-N-K. Okay, so it's the word of the day today because yesterday, this is true story. So if I go to the grocery store throughout the week, sometimes I'll just say, hey, do you need anything?
Oh, to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do the same thing if you're going.
Yep.
And so yesterday I was on my way to the grocery store and I texted you and I said, hey, do you need anything? And you said, yes, get me some. Gina has this one place has deli chicken that is like seasoned with buffalo seasoning, like buffalo wings. You know,
Yeah,
kind of
so
seasoning.
good. Yep.
Okay. So she said, yeah, get me a half a pound of that. And very think slices, she texted. Very think slices. Okay, so I could see how like wars are won and lost on these kinds of communicational quirks. And so think, is it thin or is it thick?
Oh, it's both.
Think slices. So I did what the word said, and I decided to think on it because I knew you were busy and I didn't want to call back or text back. But so I went with the history and kind of what you liked in the past, and I don't think you've ever wanted thick.
No,
slices.
It wasn't supposed to be thick.
So think I went with thin, and it was the right thing, I think. So
You think.
But
yeah, sorry about that. Oh my goodness.
but that was a confusing word. And I imagine
That's true. It is both thin and thick. My bad. All right. So I am coloring underneath here in the gray. I'll add a little gray to this part too.
And if I had gotten thick,
You definitely could have blamed me.
It would have just been plain wrong.
But you could have blamed me anyway.
Wrong, John Silver.
So I just shaved a little bit of that edge just to get rid of some of that color that was on there. I don't think Tom does the Wordle. Do you do the Wordle, Tom?
No, I haven't been, no.
I do the Wordle. It's hard. But I think you would really like Wordle.
What makes you think that?
Because you're a word guy. Your undergrad was in English. You're just a wordsmith. You have a word for everything. So I'm creating a little lightness in the middle here. Not because I know what I'm doing, but because I like the shading. I don't know where the light's coming from on this thing. It's coming from like 9 different places. So apparently I live on a planet here. When I color, I live on a planet that has like 12 suns because I have highlights coming from the top, coming from the bottom. But you know, it is what it is. All right, there we go. So I'm going to add a little bit of black for the wheels. Do I have a black pencil? I've got something. That's black something or other. Here's black. That last gray that I used, this is called 50% Cool Gray, if anybody's keeping track. Ooh, black is definitely... These are fun to color. I'm going to use that same gray. I don't know what color to make the door. I'm just working my way out in a circular pattern until I fill the whole tire. Isn't that just fun? I'll add a little in the center because it just gets gray. You know, whatever's left on the blending stump. Like whatever's left, you could fill in little things that you want to have like a grayish hue. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of blue on the windows here. I don't know that I necessarily want to color the whole thing in. This is an interesting color. This is called Slate Grey. And I wonder if I just did kind of this kind of thing. Just to have a little shadow in there. And then maybe I did this in the teal. And I could go a little bit of gray underneath here to create a little shadow under there. We'll get that same Here we go. Here we go. And then I just have to do the door. I think I'm going to stick with the turquoise feel of this because, again, we don't have to be accurate. It doesn't have to be like a real life situation. It can just match our card. Because definitely the tree and the sun don't look like real life. They look very whimsical and fun and cute. We'll do our door the same way. Yeah, these are all Prismacolor pencils. And I'm just coloring. They're not watercolor pencils, but if you use watercolor, and you certainly can use watercolor, don't waste the Gamsol. Just use water to blend them out. Somebody asked me one time if Prismacolor pencils or if watercolor pencils can be blended out with Gamsol. And, you know, the answer is yes, because it's a liquid, so it's going to liquefy your paint a little bit. But I just wouldn't waste the Gamsol. I just use water. There we go. And then I'll do a little bit of the black on these areas here. Should I? No, I think I'm going to use like a light brown. Why not? Do I have a light brown? I don't even have all my pencils. I just have a handful of whatever I grabbed, and they're just these colors. I keep picking that same green. Maybe that's the one that wants to be my color. This is black raspberry. That's too not brown. Metallic gold. Ooh. If I pick that green one more time, how about if I use one of these grays? This is the 70% gray. So this is French gray. So the French gray I find to be a little bit browner. So I'll use that just for these areas here. Being very picky about something that nobody will even really notice. Are you guys like that? Do you like lament over something that is the smallest detail? You know, you just throw in anything on the card, and then when it comes to the smallest detail, you just take forever to decide. Let's blend that a little bit in there. Smooth it out. It just makes the color pop a little bit more when you add the Gamsol. This is going to be a very cute little pop-up thing here. It's going around the door frame, and then I'm going to cut this out with my die cutting machine. This is the kind of thing that I like to do when I don't know what to do. Just make elements like this, like a bunch of little campers, have them ready to go. There we go. Okay, so there's my little camper, and I think it matches nice with the rest of the elements. Okay. Now I'm very nervous about one thing after I cut this out. I'm very nervous about the green showing into these areas. And I feel like I want to match this green perfectly. And I don't think I have a color that will match perfectly. I'm going to try a couple little colors here and see what looks good. I've got a bunch of Copic markers here, and I'll show you what I mean. When I place this here, you should be able to see green in these areas. So let's see if we can get a color that's close. No. Nah. Nope. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, that's not too bad. That one's not too bad. That looks very similar to this one here. It's not quite the same. But you see what I said? Yeah, I could cut it. Ooh, could I cut it? I'm going to see if I can cut it. I'm going to be very brave. First, I'm going to cut it out with the die cutting machine. And then I'm going to cut those out. I'm going to be very brave.
You have an X-Acto?
I wish I did. I did have a Tim Holtz craft knife, and I don't know what I did with it. It's probably home in the garage somewhere, because I don't know what I did with it. Okay, so let's cut this out using the coordinating die. You know what I could do? I know what I could do.
Paper piece?
Paper piece, yeah. Paper piece it in there.
How did I know that?
I don't know how you know that. That's true. It would be shadowed, so I could make it a little darker. That's very smart. Look how cute that is. Let's just put it there and see. So put it in the grass right here. And then I could paper piece those little parts. Or I could color it a little darker. Kind of like that idea, because you're right. It would be Zig light green. Do I have that one? I might have that one. Zig light green. I have to have that one. Here's a Zig light green. Let's just look at it. Be close. That's a little brighter. I think I'm going to try this, because if it doesn't work, I can cut it out. So let's just see how that looks, just by doing a little bit of this coloring in here. Right, I can always cut it out if it doesn't work. I think it might work. Am I even on the camera? Yeah. Sometimes I get so into it, I forget that I'm live, and because I talk to myself exactly like this when I'm crafting. I think that might soften it up a bit. Yes, look at that. So this one is G24 that I used. I think that looks great. I love it. So should we pop up the pop-up, or should we just let it go flat? I think there's plenty of things already popped up here. So let's just put it right in the ground, and we'll tape this on. Tape a little sunshine up here. We can actually make the sun extend a little bit outside if we want. I don't like that. Thought I'd like that. I don't know that I like that. I think I want it to all be inside, almost like a framed photo. And then we'll get this little tree in there. Let's see. This card took longer than I thought it was going to take, but it's because I was just having too much fun playing. And once you make one, then you can, mass produce the elements really quickly. So should I put this little tree back here and then have the pop-up in front of it? Then you can't really see it. Do I need the tree? Should the tree be up on the hill? Should I put the tree on the hill? Tell me if we should have a tree on the hill. I do need to do something to the tree. I
like the tree on the hill.
You like the tree on the hill? All right. Tom likes the tree on the hill.
But that's just the dead space.
Otherwise, it's just a dead space from the...
That's just the comment from the dead space.
Oh, I thought you meant that like the hill just was a dead space. I was going to say, well, you should know about the dead space. All right. So we'll put the tree up on the hill. And then we'll put the camper there. Oh, I like that. That's a good idea, Tom. Very cute. All right. Well, I know this card took a long time, and you might be thinking, oh, I don't have time to make a card that long. It won't take you that long, because you will not be chatting as much as I am. Well, maybe you will. Maybe you chat with yourself like I do. Put that right there. Right, that's so cute. Now we've got to figure out where to put a greeting. Gosh. Oh, good, Tom. A lot of people agree with you here about this tree, so I think people are happy with it. Do we even want to put a greeting? It's so scary to put a greeting on now, right? But I feel like... Happy campers. Enjoy your time. Make memories one campfire at a time. That's really cute. Home is where you park it. Wouldn't that be a really cute little, like, welcome to the neighborhood? Oh, gosh, I don't know. Life is better when I camp with you. I'm using that, Tom, and I'm putting it right on the lake. And then you're going to get this card, so hopefully you'll forget that I even made it. Life is better when I camp with you. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? That's perfect for somebody who camps to send to the person they camp with. I'm going to put it right there. right on the lake. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. Is anybody else nervous for me here? All right. Take a couple of deep breaths. We're going to do 2 layers. I'm going to just rub my finger on it. 2 layers. Let me get my ink cube. I want to be very precise. Oh, okay. That is adorable. That is adorable. Life is better when I camp with you. I love it. Okay, well, that is my finished card right there. I'm not doing anything else to it. I'm not even doing the second layer of black. It just grabbed the ink so nicely. All right, so you guys like this? Oh yeah, a wink of Stella on the water would be really cool. Even a little gel pen with some little streaks in there would be good. I don't know if I could add a little shading, but now I feel like it's a little too late to do that. But you guys definitely do that when you make yours, and I want to see it. Add it into our group. I want to see what you do with this set. I really do. I want to see more campers. It's kind of where my heart is. Okay, well, Tom.
Yes.
We're going to give this away to somebody.
Okay.
Somebody's going to win this little scene today.
All right. Cheesy drum roll, please.
Okay.
The winner of the campground card is Teresa. Hampton. Teresa.
Yay, Teresa. Congratulations, Teresa. Send your name and address to info@ginakdesigns.com and they will let me know and I will get this card out to you. I love that it's patterned on the inside. It's just so cute. It's true. A lot of these greetings would be good for inside greetings too. So that was so much fun. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and I hope you'll give this card a try. Please share your cards with me over in our Facebook group at Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. I'd love to see the camping cards that you make. All right, everybody. Well, Tom and I will be back next week, but I'm going to try to get a 5-minute card video up for you this weekend. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very much. We really do. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.